my elbow. My other elbow end thingy. Lateral and medial epicondylitis, otherwise known as tennis and golfer's elbow, an issue that can affect a lot of people. If you have issues in the elbow area on the outside or the inside, and you get pain when doing something like this, pushing against your wrist up, or the other way pushing down, then there is a good chance that you have tennis or golfer's elbow. I think this is the chair's way of telling me I should get back to work. What's up everyone, Matthew Scott here, welcome to MCR Powerhouse, and let's get right into it. Say you have an issue on the inside or the outside of the elbow, there are a few things you can do for it. On the most basic level, you could do something as simple as a forearm stretch. So all you want to do, if you're getting pain on the inside of your elbow, you can put your palm out like so, one hand over the top, and just extend the wrist like so, and stretch out. It shouldn't be painful on your wrist, but you do want to get some stretch to the point where you're feeling it in the inside of your forearm there. Because basically all the muscles that allow you to clench and bend your wrist in like that, you'll even be able to try this on yourself. You can actually see them moving all into that one spot there. It's called the common flexor origin. And it's the exact same on the other side. So I'm going to try and bring the arm a little bit closer. Maybe you'll be able to see the forearm muscles moving around here. Basically every time I extend my fingers, they run and they all attach on the outside point there, called the common extensor origin. So, you say you're getting pain on the outside, now you would just do the exact opposite direction and just pushing down like that. You might feel a little discomfort over the top here, but you should feel a stretch up towards the elbow area. Now, I recommend doing one side and the other, and I'll explain why a little later on. So let's say that you do those stretches, but it doesn't quite make a difference. Okay, you might have to kick it up a notch. You might have to actually start rolling out both the back of your forearm and the front of your forearm. So, well, the outside and the inside of your forearm, depending how you're looking at the arm. And there's actually a couple of really straightforward techniques that I'm going to demonstrate in the top corner here. It's basically really straightforward. Ideally use a PVC pipe. A blue foam roller can do the trick, and the ones with the nubs I feel can get into deep trigger points, but I prefer something nice and flat and extra hard, because you know you're going to be it's going to be depending on the amount of pressure that you can personally put into it, and it's not necessarily going to be more painful using a PVC pipe in this case if you're doing it to start off. Now, if you really want to get in a little bit deeper, you can use a lacrosse ball or a massage ball and really start to get in nice and deep and just start following strips with the ball down like so. Again, the clip will be up here, and you can even go the opposite side and strips too. Now, there are certain trigger points, especially in the back here, where you push on certain areas and you might feel the pain shoot right up into the thumb or right up into the middle or ring fingers or the little fingers. I actually intentionally look for these points when I'm doing treatment at the clinic, but if you feel that sensation, don't stress, so as long as it's not a full-on stabbing sensation, you're fine. Again, when you're doing this by yourself for the first time, try not to go just flat out as hard as you can. Just ease your way into it, but brace yourself, it is going to be uncomfortable. There's pretty much no way around that with these sorts of techniques. One last thing you could do, it's referred to as eccentric exercises. So basically, you could rest your forearm over the edge of the table and basically help your arm on the way up. So your arm's doing nothing on the way up, and then slowly count 10 seconds on the way down with a dumbbell. I recommend starting off with a 1 kilo dumbbell, do 3 sets of 10, and see how you go with it. I also recommend doing the other side, exact same thing. No help on the way up, literally nothing on the way up, and then slowly letting it come down like that. There's another exercise I also like to recommend on top of that, and then just holding onto a dumbbell by the end, or holding onto a hammer. Hammer works real well with this, and you just slowly tilt side to side, making sure that your forearm's resting on something. I'm not resting on anything now because I'm demonstrating it in front of a camera. So if you're still struggling with forearm issues after all this, then I'd recommend coming to see someone like myself at MCR Powerhouse, and we can have a closer look at what's going on there. And maybe if I can get into the muscles a little bit deeper, because trying it yourself is always a bit difficult, especially learning through these clips, which can be very useful, but yeah, it is still a challenge in itself. So I hope you all enjoyed the clip, and until next time, keep it strong, keep it simple, catch you later.